So, recently I had an issue with EndeavourOS and Grub. I was able to recover my files, but uh, not my system, unfortunately. So Debian has three versions: stable, testing, and SID. I'm on testing, and that's because stable is completely fucking unacceptable to use for a daily driver system. And that's because, for example, KDE, what I'm using right now is 5.25 in testing. In stable, it's still 5.20. And anything 5 versions behind is just completely fucking unacceptable, in my opinion. The only exception I make to that is if you're running a 5-year-old server and it doesn't fucking matter, then by all means, um, go right ahead and run Debian stable, but for a daily driver, don't touch stable. Stick with testing. There's really not much to say in this video. Blender, FreeCAD, and Scribus I had to install with Flatpaks. Um, I don't know why they're not in the repository. And then UB ports and Boolean Etcher I was able to get with a deb package. And Rockbox is app image. It's working fine. It's fucking Debian, of course it is. I've managed to get everything installed pretty much. Everything's working as is. And I doubt I'm ever going to have a fucking problem with it. And that's probably why I'm not going to touch any other distro going forward, and I'm just going to stick with Debian. I mean, this is just going to be a short video. I don't really have much to say, honestly. I mean, there's just so many distros that are based off Debian, and the reasoning for that is, even though, yeah, I wouldn't pretty much use stable for anything, but Debian is a great distro to base anything off of, and that is why you don't see as many things based off Arch as you do Debian, although there are, I would say Arch is second to Debian in terms of what things are based off of, because I can't really think of anything off the top of my head based off Fedora, and I can only think of one or two that are based off OpenSUSE. Really, a majority of the distros out there are based off Debian, I would say. And it just goes to show how great of a distro it is. And it is one that I don't think enough people give credit for, or talk about for that matter. If you're switching to Linux, I would go with something Debian-based if you need stability. So Peppermint OS, MX Linux, Linux Mint Debian Edition. Don't get anything based off Ubuntu just the way Ubuntu's going. It's not worth it. You're gonna run into issues down the road. I've already had issues with Linux Mint proper because of that. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that I had to switch back to Debian, honestly, because I was starting to like Arch. Every time I use Arch, it's always something. EndeavourOS is the only stable one I found out of everything based off Arch. But updating my fucking software every fucking day, it gets really fucking annoying. And that's what I hated most about Arch. It's like I don't want to turn on my computer and do what I need to do because I know I'm gonna be bothered with an update. And it's not as bad as Windows. I'll be completely fucking honest. It's not as bad as Windows, even though it's, up every day is an update. It's not as bad as Windows because at least you can ignore the update until after you're done with your work. Whereas with Windows, it'll be like, oh, you have to work? Well, fuck you, we're updating anyways. And that's why I'm glad I don't use Windows. So it's really not the most annoying thing it could be, but it's still kind of annoying to have to update every day. And things tend to break because of that, because things aren't held back for testing as much on Arch. as they are on other systems that are rolling releases, like Fedora, for example. And I don't think anyone holds things back for testing as much as Debian does, honestly. Because, like I said, Debian has 3 branches: stable, testing, and unstable. Testing and unstable are both testing branches. So unstable is they keep testing it until it gets a little bit more stable, then they put it in the testing branch, and then they keep testing it, and then they put it in the stable branch. Whereas with Fedora, I think the way it goes is they hold something back just a little bit until it's stable enough, and then here it is. And I think that's the same with most rolling releases. And I really do appreciate the simplicity and stability, but I do understand that with Debian proper there are some elements that aren't really user-friendly, and that's why I'm saying go with Peppermint or MX Linux or Linux Mint Debian Edition. Something that adds a little bit more simplicity. Um, I'm a bit of an exception there because when I got off Windows XP when Vista came out, I went right to Debian. So it was one of those things where I was able to, and I think learning enough about Debian to use it for basic shit really helped me in the past few years when I decided to learn more about computers and become more intermediate, because I was able to do it really quick, which I honestly, and I've said this before, I would not be able to do with Windows. I'm worse than a noob with Windows now, because they've just changed so much, it's hard to navigate my way around the fucking system at all. And I doubt I'd be able to advance anywhere close to being intermediate with that. Honestly, I think I'd have a better shot with Mac. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.